Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make another video because I got a request from a pen pal on Instagram who read my story, and I was venting about a hangout that I had with old friends and how that kind of triggered me and made me split, and how I was still splitting many hours later. So this person wanted to know, why do borderlines continue to split despite knowing that this is a symptom of theirs and that they're having this kind of cognitive distortion? And I thought it was really thought provoking because somebody on the outside might wonder, if you know that your judgment is off, well, why do you continue to think in this way? And the only explanation that I have from my personal experience is it is really hard to unthink your way out of splitting, because splitting is not only a cognitive distortion, but it's also very emotional. So it's painful for me to have these really negative thoughts about people that I love. I had like such warm thoughts about them beforehand, and to have those warm thoughts be kind of taken away from me is painful. The way that I can answer this is just saying you can't unthink your way out of splitting when it's been a coping mechanism that you've used for most of your life. So growing up, I've had to split on my parents to protect myself from the emotional neglect that I felt. And so I've been splitting for like 20 years or more of my life in dealing with relationships after that. My best friends, my partners, acquaintances, bosses, anybody that I get closer to, I will split on them because it's safe. And in my mind, it's safe, but obviously in the long run, it doesn't do me any favors. So, yeah, just to give a perspective, I recently had an exercise in my trauma therapy where my therapist was telling me to do like DBT style pros and cons about something I was splitting on, which I don't feel comfortable talking about yet. But just know that I was in the thick of devaluing this person, and it took me like 20 minutes just to get back to the gray and to stop splitting. And I like to use the term get back to the gray because when I'm splitting, I'm either thinking all white or all black thoughts. I felt a little, I don't know, rudimentary. I just felt like a dumbass a little bit. Like I was just sitting there trying to stop splitting, and I couldn't will myself to do it. And my therapist knew that it was hard for me. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is, even if we know that we're splitting, we can't just snap our fingers and get out of it. I wish that that were true, but it does take a lot of work, and it takes the type of exercise that I did in my therapy session. But even then, it takes time after that because it's also an emotional thing, and you need to validate your emotions to process them. And it's hard to validate them when you know that the splitting is just poor judgment. So, what I've learned this year is that I can have all of the CBT and DBT and pros and cons and exercises under my belt, but if I'm not listening to my body and validating my emotions first, then I'm just going to it's just like forcing myself to think in a different way, which isn't really helpful all the time. So it's important to just be gentle with yourself. And I'm barely getting over my trigger with my friends from the hangout that I had the other day. I actually made a video about it, but I don't know if I want to post it because it's just me ranting and feeling bad about myself. But anyway, yeah, I'm barely getting over my splitting thoughts, and it does certainly help when you know that you're splitting, but you can't just will yourself to stop splitting when you've done this your whole life. So that's how I would answer that question. I hope that this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I don't know why it bothers me so much, and I feel ashamed. I hate having BPD. Everything is a fucking blur. I don't really understand my emotions. When I feel bad, I suddenly forget what it felt like to feel good. I suddenly forget what it felt like to trust people again, and I forget what it felt like to just joke around and be happy and be lighthearted. I feel like I can't do that right now. BPD triggers don't make any fucking sense sometimes. And I wish I could see my therapist. Tomorrow's my birthday. I don't feel excited. I don't feel like I can hang out with people. I feel like a fucking loner. I can't hang out with people anyway because of COVID, but I just don't feel excited. I don't look forward to doing anything, and I just want to be alone. I hope that you got to relate to me on some level, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.